Welcome to another Space Station 13 tutorial. I'm Base Bellagio, and today I am teaching you the art of combat. I am teaching you self-defense. After today's course, you will never be grabbed,
Heel to the balls,
spaced, or bullied ever again. At least at the end of this, you'll be able to defend yourself as a brand new spaceman. So gather round and get comfortable. And welcome to the dojo. First, we're going to start with the basics. Hand-to-hand combat. You have 4 intentions: help, disarm, grab, and harm. And we will go over what each of those does in hand-to-hand combat. Help, you're not really going to use too much of in a combat situation, unless it's healing yourself or cauterizing a wound that's bleeding with a hot device, like a lighter. You just open the lighter and click help on yourself. The next key maneuver is disarm.
he tried to kill me, so I gotta return it the favor.
Disarm is your best friend in combat. Disarm not only knocks weapons and items out of people's hands, but it also trips and pushes people over, opening up a key moment for you to attack or move to the grab maneuver.
I'm sorry, sir, but I'm gonna break your leg.
Disarming is great if you're getting beat up on by somebody that has a powerful weapon, like a fire extinguisher. You'd want to switch to disarm if you can't escape and maneuver. Grab is the real control powerhouse of hand-to-hand combat.
I'm a vegetarian. This place makes me sick.
If you're a new spaceman on a space station, no matter if it's Goon, Fulp, TG, VG, or any other station you play on, getting grabbed if you don't know how to defend yourself is practically a game over scenario. The thing you want to do if you're grabbed is resist. You either spam click the resist button on the bottom right, or you press the Z button. Z is the hotkey for resist and block. After you have someone in a grab, if you click on them again, you will move to a kill maneuver, it says. This is basically you choking them out. This could be very effective if your opponent is knocked out or dazed, but once you learn the resist maneuver, you can break out of this somewhat easily. You have a very powerful suplex move. In the normal grab, if you press the R button to flip, that will flip you around and you will bring your opponent with you, suplexing them. Positioning is key with this one. If you position yourself near our best friend in hand-to-hand combat, the glass table, and you suplex somebody through a glass table, that is step 1 of 3 for completely KOing them into oblivion. Step 2 and 3 would be to pick them back up and throw them through another glass table. You can also hold the space bar to throw people. You hold the space bar and click where you want to throw them,
This incredible weight. This enormous load.
or any object for that matter. If you want to throw a knife at somebody, this is the way to do it. And finally, as far as I know, again with all this information, there might be some more nuances and secrets. Please comment down below. But finally, as far as I know, with the grab, you can table people. And in the Space Station 13 community, tabling someone is a game over. And it's a form of pure dominance over your foe. To table someone, grab them and switch to a harm intention, and then click them onto the table you would like to table them on.
Once he's down, boom, knee to the head.
Also, you can click on them and drag them to a table. Also, sometimes works better for some people in the heat of combat. When you table somebody, that gives you a moment to pounce on them and unleash a fury of beatdowns while they are stumbling and fumbling to get up. Again, a lot of these you can break with resisting, spamming the resist button as you're being grabbed, as you're being choked. You want to do that. This will prevent you from getting spaced, which is being thrown out of an airlock by either an antagonist or a bully.
And shave Donald Trump's head, give me a hell yeah.
Clicking. If a first-person shooter is all about aiming at the little head and getting that headshot, then Space Station 13 Combat is all about clicking, avoiding being clicked on, and clicking your opponent. So, you want to get good at that. This game, literally, in times of combat and stressful situations, is as intense as a first-person shooter trying to get that headshot. Sometimes it's even more intense because your enemy is moving around like a madman. Let's talk about some weapons for a little bit. Now, you can examine and hover over weapons to see what kind of damage they do. Certain weapons are more dangerous than others. For example, a toolbox used to be very deadly. They nerfed it a little bit. They are still pretty robust. A fire extinguisher is my favorite intro tier 1 weapon. When you join late and you enter the arrival shuttle, there is usually a couple toolboxes around, fire extinguishers, crowbars. These are all great beginner weapons and you can use them for self-defense. Tip number 1 in self-defense training. When entering the space station, always grab a weapon to put into your backpack or in your pocket for self-defense. So you really want to get out there and experiment with different weapons, find out which ones you like. Some attack quicker than others, some do more damage than others. Some weapons you can poison with various reagents, chemicals. Some weapons cause various effects on your enemy. And all weapons have a special attack if you click 1 or 2 tiles away from yourself in any direction. You will do your special attack in that direction. Stun batons can send sparks at people. A spear can do a long range stab, which is great to gain that range on people. Definitely want to try out every item and see if they have a special attack by double clicking 1 tile away from yourself. Long range weapons are also key. From the miner making a simple bow and arrow with uranium tipped arrows, all the way up to security with their guns, their phasers. That can be scanned and replicated by a mechanic, making a mechanic a very good weapon master, as he can go around scanning weapons and duplicating them. Every job has unique weapons, I'd like to say. From the chef with his knives and poisonous foods, to botany with their crazy vegetables and fruits that can kill, blind, acid, maim, and explode. To science, of course, artifacts, chemicals, engineering. Engineering has one of the biggest weapons on the entire station. It's called the engine. And when that engine gets angry, oh man, it can create firestorms. Now, this is not just join a server and blow up the engine tutorial. This is more of to help you survive long enough as a new player that you'll be able to engage in cool events, cool stories, and cool role-playing arcs. A lot of people tell me, Bellagio, I'm new to the game, people attack me, they beat me up, they throw me out the ship. First and foremost, if you feel like you've been wrongfully just killed for no reason, always press F1 and ask an admin. Who knows, you might have been attacked by an antagonist, and you know, it's just bad RP on his part for not talking a little bit, making some, even if it's just like a cackling laugh or whatever. Don't just kill someone randomly. There are antagonists that want to do that though, space the whole ship. The key to fighting is having a good arsenal at your disposal.
Gonna decide who he hates more. You are Kingpin!
Sometimes your weapons and robustness might be job-oriented or situational. You might be a botanist with exploding tomatoes that can devastate people when you throw those tomatoes at them. You might be a scientist that has various chemical concoctions to knock out your enemy, daze and confuse them, blind them. You might be an engineer and you have access to the deconstruction tool, which is basically a giant circular saw, which causes bleeding. Bleeding is another one of your best friends in combat. If you can cause your enemy to bleed, that's one more thing that's debuffing them, draining them, and causing them harm. Knives cause bleeding, sharp utensils cause bleeding. Definitely want to play around with this mechanic. Your enemy also will slip on his blood if you cause them to bleed enough, and there's a pool, they will be slipping and sliding, and you will too. Now this next phase goes into buffs, we're going to call them. Now, at the end of this episode, I'm going to read you Reddit posts. I put a question up on the Space Station 13 Reddit, and I'm getting a lot of responses, very great responses. So you're going to learn some pro tips at the end of this video, but for now, I'm going to give you my advice and what I know. Nobody wants you to run around and be the winner. This game of Space Station 13 is more of a communal, fun play. We're all putting on a performance. So it's not about you killing everybody on the space station when you're the antagonist. There's no class to that. There's no soul to that. You want to have more tact. So these next few tips, you could obviously go around and gather everything. Every buff, every chem, every bit of armor, every weapon, every speed boost, every artifact. You could become the John Rambo of the ship, but I guarantee you there is always a weakness. There is always a chain link missing in your armor on Space Station 13. So starting with booze. If you're drunk enough, you can deflect attacks, even knife attacks. You can randomly deflect by being drunk enough. Very interesting. There's various meds that buff you. Methamphetamine, when taken enough of it, basically stops you from being stunned. Very powerful stuff. There are various items around the ship that can buff you and boost you. For example, the miner has access to armor and boots and gloves that he can make that definitely help out in a fight. One of those boots make you run extremely quick, making it hard to be clicked on. Finally, we're going to read some Reddit posts. Some amazing tips and tricks from the pros out there. This is on Space Station 13. I am going to read the people's names that posted. I mean, you can go there and read it yourself. So I'm sorry if I embarrass you. I'm sorry if I butcher your name. One of the biggest upvoted ones from that guy, Zach759, says, "My general rule, if you aren't in friendly territory, example, surrounded by spacemen, medical, security sometimes, always hover over disarm intent and have a weapon ready at any given time. Hope for the best, be ready for the worst. Surprise is always the best weapon when fighting lasts a matter of seconds. Guns are also very effective. You know that Seki shotgun copy pasta? Yeah, a point-blank blast with buckshot or modified shells will be a near guaranteed win. Know your surroundings. If you have someone against a wall, shove them down. Tabling someone is basically the penultimate I win in a lot of situations. When stuns win fights, flashes are stupidly dangerous on both sides. Flashes are your little blinding flash device that some departments get, or you can find. Know what weapons each department has. Medical has saws and easy access to chems plus syringe guns. Science has all kinds of stuff. Genetics, screwery. Robotics has flashes and potential mechs. Whatever goes on in Xenobio, etc. Sec has all the tools to be robust they need. Clowns and mimes? Nobody effing knows. Assistants are either newbies or robust. Be careful. NGs usually won't be fighting people, but they have hard suits and are perfectly willing to. Hard suits like armor. Long story short, there are two kinds of fights. Robusting and what the heck happened, why did I die? Know who you can take on, and who you don't know enough about. Numbers give an instant advantage unless you're both incompetent. Tricking someone into getting themselves killed is bonus points. Fairness is a farce. Click spaceman till horizontal. This guy says click spaceman until horizontal. Antilupima. Cleeson says, from Morty Gang, fight dirty, use every advantage you can get, have a weapon, table people, lie to get security on your side, have a flash, wear armor and wear sunglasses, preparedness is everything, also be on meth. To quote the poet, be polite, be professional, but have a plan to kill everyone you meet. Wow, very interesting advice from Morty Gang Cleeson. Definitely not advice we would give in the karate dojo, but in a street fight in space, there are no rules. Never believe you could take on the entire station. This is from Blob Tempest. There's no mean to counter all the stuff that the different crew members can throw at you. Fight one person or two and then pull out. I've never seen anyone able to defeat a lynch mob. Chronic Pawnage SS13 says take drugs, climb onto a chair, jump off onto someone, suplex them, then pin them. That's all you must do for combat. Someone says signed up just to say 23 says bombs. Just one word, bombs. That's his advice for fighting. Scout for Hire says be drunk. If you're drunk enough, you can drunkenly shrug off any direct melee damage. Good advice. This includes things that really don't make any sense, like sea sabers and katanas. The latter still removes arms, since it's a separate proc from the raw damage. Alexander Bastasen says, Aerobite floor tiles. Hurl those babies like frisbees and watch your problems go away. I have to give that a thumbs up right there, a little upvote. Is that how Reddit works? A little upvote. Bio Robot says, haven't played in a long while, but used to walk around with throw selected if I had an empty hand. That way you can catch anything thrown at you. Needs to be switched on though in case someone exploits it. Interesting. I don't know if that works on Goon, but I like that. That's good information. Some servers you can just click throw and it's toggled on ready to throw something. Very interesting. Oh, this guy. Bozim the Calm. Ready? Honestly, learn to be a power game nerd. Now, again, guys, maybe learn to do this, but don't do it. Just have that black belt ability under your wing. I don't know. This is more of a do at your own discretion advice. But he says, honestly, learn to be a power game nerd. Being robust is easy as heck when you're 85% melee immune, 100% flash chem thermal immune, 95% stun immune, can't be grabbed, have super speed, can't be knocked down, can't be cuffed. Add in teleporting and yeah, you're honestly way worse than any Antag can dream of. To do it, you need to obtain the following. And no, I will not be telling you where to get these items, and good luck trying to find these items. It is actually very fun to find them. Get out there and explore. But you need mag boots, Voltron, SWAT mask, red suit, treads, robotic arms, booster enzyme, meth. All of which, if you know how to get, can be obtained in roughly 12 to 15 minutes. Now, here's a disclaimer. What he's talking about is borderline being a shitter. We don't advocate being a shitter here. But all the pros know about this. They're just not doing it. They have way more fun playing the game, RPing, using the different game mechanics. Again, I'm just reading you some pro tips from the Reddit. This is for more of the advanced player. After that, it's just using the best tools around you that you can. Glass tables are extremely powerful. Slam someone through 3 or 4 of them, and they are usually down for the count. Run away to get number advantage. Number advantage is the most powerful thing outside of Power Nerd. Then it's just the tier list of weapons. Shotguns you could steal from Sec or Barkeep, then stunners, preferably batons, flashes, chemicals. But note that nothing compares to Power Nerd. Note that everything I followed up Power Nerd with is almost completely negated by Power Nerds. He only got 4 upvotes, this guy. Well, we're gonna give him 1. For the effort, the post effort's there. I don't think any of the new players out there know anything about what I just talked about. but I'd like to catalog this for future spacemen. Chris Boyman says, be prepared, don't get clicked, and use stuns. Here's a list of tips. Suplexes are great but highly situational. I only use them as needed, stun while unarmed or before I throw someone. There is a brief window after suplexing for you to throw them. Great for disarming people. Stuns win fights. Chairs are a good free stun while unarmed. I've once taken down the entire security team while unarmed by using chairs, among other combat tips. Now, he's not specific if he means jumping off chairs or beating people with chairs. You'll have to figure that out on your own. Lay down when someone is trying to tase you, or move around other people/objects. I don't know what laying down is going to do. Very interesting. I forget to take drugs 80% of the time, but more drugs you're on, the more robust you are. Everything is a weapon, but very few things are great weapons. For instance, bleeding damage kills, but only after the fight is already over. Refer back to my tips about stuns. Range is key. Spears and guns are your friend. Refer back to not getting clicked. This is not a complete list by any means. That's the story of this entire video. But the more you play, the more things you'll pick up on. Edit. When doing a suplex throw, know where to throw them. Glass tables are an easy win. Edit 2. Somebody is always more robust than in one way or another. I've once killed 30 people as a Ling, only to be killed by a single scientist that made an emergency beaker of nitroglycerin/black powder. But guys, this is the end of the video. It's been an interesting one. I hope you learned a couple things about combat, the basics, the advanced, the in-betweens. Like everything with this video game, you need to experiment, you need to get out there, try everything for yourself, go around, figure stuff out, teleport to the dojo, work for a half hour on forging a katana, then bring that katana to your ERP foes and show them the Japanese space station steel. Thank you very much for watching. Give a thumbs up if you like it, a thumbs down if you didn't. Please consider subscribing. Over 60% of you who watch these videos are unsubscribed. Please consider subscribing. Join the crew. Let's hang out, play some games, watch some cool videos, and learn the mysteries of the universe. Thank you again.